What's that?
Okay, so let's link this to two moves that we did from mount, which was showing you how to get to that gift wrap position for that. We took the back and also tying it into the head and arm. So we've covered these two submissions before, but we're just going to tie them in with the S-mount stuff and how you need to make a few changes when it's no gi. Okay, so again, let's just say I'm in my mounted position, car's burr hugging me. Okay, so putting my weight in my hands, coming to S-mount. Okay, he's still got his burr hug, his body lock, so I just put my hand on his shoulder, in his throat, bump my hips forward, and then I'm into my control again position. Okay, so to get the gift wrap position from here, so my right hand, okay, that was controlling this far hip, okay, it's going to grab his wrist, pass it under his neck. My hand that was on the tricep comes underneath, and I'm into that gift wrap position again. Okay, so my right hand controls the wrist, and I just pull my foot out, and I'm into T-mount. Okay, so my foot's flat, using my hips to roll card on this side. Okay, if my knee isn't tight, I'm just going to chair sit, rolling from my left hip to my right hip as I tie up the arm, getting ear to ear. From here, frees up this hand so we can swim it through and get a choke. Again. There's this body lock on. Weight in my hands. S-mount. Free this up. Bump my hips. Get the S-mount. Use my hand to pass it. Get my grip. Control the wrist. Transition to T-mount. See the way I roll them forward onto the side, and then when I chair sit, tie this up in transition, which frees up this hand. If it's careless, his chin tucked. Okay, I just drop my hand in, wiggle it in like starting a car. I get it in. We're naked. Sometimes what happens is hips to here. When I go for this, Carl knows I'm going to take his back, so when I lift my hips and transition to T-mount, he's just adamant on keeping his back on the mat. And again, in jiu-jitsu, we're always taking the path of least resistance. I'm not going to really muscle the move. So from here, doing my elbows up and punching it through, which creates space at his left jugular, so my right hand can come through. I'm dropping my head to the mat. All right. As I get to my katagatami, my head and arm choke. So, quick recap on how we finished. If I can, from the mount, I'll do it one-handed. So my right hand is gripping the shoulder. I'm making sure my forearm is parallel with the mat, and I've got my right bicep tight against his left jugular. Okay. I put my collarbone behind his tricep. Okay. And then from here, my ears on his shoulder. I'm projecting my weight forward as I turn the corner. Again, from here, the reason why I like to finish it one-handed, Carl's escape is to bridge, so I can post. Okay. Obviously, if he tries to bridge me this way, or bridge that way towards Jason, it's going to be difficult because all my weight's on this side. The only chance he has is this way. So that's why I don't like this hand-to-hand. Again, I can still finish it from close guard, but I'd rather be on top. So if I can get into the habit of finishing it one-handed, that's good. Rather than going to here, he might decide to answer the telephone as escape. So again, that creates space. We've covered this all before. See there's a massive space now between his jugular here. So I come, lift my head up to the top of the lever, push it through, slide my head back down again, and I'll finish as before. If I can't do that, and he's being super strong, okay, I might decide to get hand to hand, but before I do that, I just drop off to the side here. And again, I'll put my hips on the mat, my legs is up, I can walk. You get that? But by doing that, okay, he can go for a second defense, okay? Which means now he can turn on to the side. He couldn't do that when I was in mount, which is why I'd rather prefer. But again, from here, I can't finish the head and arm choke because I haven't got the angle, but I can use my forearm to cut this side. We showed you the no-gi Ezekiel. I can just switch to the, or showed you the gi Ezekiel, which is where I grab the sleeve. This time I can go for the no-gi variation, which is I just grab my bicep. So from here, I slide up my left knee in, hand goes in the bicep, goes in the back of his neck rather than on his jugular. Okay, And to finish the triangle, I just church it, and I use my right shoulder to drive Carl's right shoulder into his right jugular. See the way there's a triangle there? So forearm, shoulder, and my forearm there. Once I make that triangle, I have the Ezekiel, so we'll do it again. The body locks, weight in my hands, yes man. Just forearm choke across his neck, then I bump my hips forward to clear his arms so I can get my grip. Going to get to the gift drop, feed it through, control the wrist, and as I go to T-mount to roll him, to take his back, he keeps his back flat on the mat. My elbows up, so I punch that through to create space. Now there's space. As I bring this through, I drop my head right to the mat. Okay, and I'm looking to get my form. This might take a second, guys. Really focus on the snugness of this. So I feed my arm through as deep as I can. I want my bicep tight against this left jugular. Okay, when I get my head down and I feel that tight, I project my weight forward. My collarbone is on his tricep, my ears behind his shoulder, and then I just turn the corner. Okay, he answers the telephone, there's escape. I come up to the top of the lever, drive forward, back down again. If he's bridging this way, I still post, finish that. Say I can't, if I get hand to hand, I'll drop the side control, which means if he's bridging, I don't lose the position. Okay, and I can still finish from there. But let's just say this gives him an option now to go for that, grabbing the legs. The way he's turned on to the side. So the second he does that, grabbing my bicep. Again, this is coming across the back of his neck, not across his jugular. I fill the space at the back of his knee, my left knee to church it, clamp my knee, and then from here to finish the triangle, I drive my shoulder into his. And there's your triangle. Okay, so, guys.